Hey, pro tip, if you're going to start recording, don't start counting and then hit the button. Start counting. Oh, anyway, it's fine. Inside joke. Not really. I was just telling everyone I had an interesting week. So, yeah, we're here for real this time, recording for posterity the adventures of a traveling band of strange animals who are beloved everywhere they go and bring the light of civilization and an appreciation for literature and history, and aren't constantly drunk and setting things on fire. So this should be fun and uplifting. Bring your kids. Hey, Misha, tell us about it.
So yes, we are playing a game in the Root RPG, which is a powered by the Apocalypse system. It's based on the board game Root, a game of woodland might and right. This one, it takes place in the woodland, where three factions, the Erie Dynasty, the Great Underground Duchy, or the GUD, and the Corvid Conspiracy vie for control over the land from the denizens who live there in their various clearings. However, our group is a bunch of vagabonds of anthropomorphic animals, just like everyone else here in the woodland. They travel around and are definitely ignoring the power struggle, except when they like blow up a bunch of moles off a cliff or something. I don't know. So go ahead, introduce yourself. See if you can remember what happened last time. We can start with Tough.
All right, hi, I'm 90 Tough Love, or Tough, or Torfleton, or some other variety of nickname. Also variety streamer on Twitch. We'll probably stream this weekend. We'll see what happens. Usually, you find me here, though. I am playing V. V is an adorable, completely innocent little otter who has done nothing wrong in her life ever and never will. She very much enjoys history and chronicling all of the things that are going on in the clearing, as well as investigating things that have happened in the clearings. And, you know, maybe she's part of a woodland historical society that's definitely legit and not a pyramid scheme. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Last time she was mostly just trying to out-scam the gambling hall. That was pretty much her MO. And then things blew up. And then Fritz almost died. And then pretended to be dead, and then we killed some of the GD, and then we were like, oops, it happens, terrorists, and then we left.
The gambling hall was destroyed, yes.
Yes, unfortunate, since it was like 1,000 years old. Definitely a historical landmark. Go for it.
Hi, I'm Sin or Sinful __ Potato on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, or I guess not Twitter. It's Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, stuff like that. I do stream on Twitch. Probably gonna stream on Monday at some point in time because got that off as a stat holidays. I got time. I play Fritz, who is just a little tiny kitty who is super innocent, super lovable, super fluffy. Definitely not a pyromaniac who loves blowing things up and setting fires. Literally will set a fire with everything they touch. Should not be allowed near matches. It's fine. Last time, Fritz helped to set the display for like the fireworks for the grand opening of the historical site of the gambling hall. Was doing so many safety things, had so many conversations with people about this is safety, just making sure this is good, everything's good. And then when the show came, there was a beautiful show. Everything went perfectly. Everything was great. There was definitely not a cliff collapse. It was fine. Everything's fine. Now the GUD loves Fritz. They're like best friends. They're like this really tight-knit, close. lovers even, maybe. You know, GUD just really loves Fritz right now. So yeah. That's why.
Hello, I am Twi'lek, and I am playing Hector, who is a heron. This alliterates because Hector's parents were very cruel. So, Hector was there when V resurrected the ghost of her old master. Consequently, Hector fell off a cliff. I'm beginning to suspect that V is in fact turning evil and is arranging things. Zero, do you have any theories on this?
I think my theory is that we all have to excuse Hector because he's drunk and remembers like 2 things that have happened months apart and has tried to tie them together. And also, who summoned the spirit of Master Splinter or whatever his name was? I mean, I know I grew up with the guy, but I can't remember who's boring. It wasn't B. It was me. Of course. Marsh. Whose idea was it to have a historical preservation society? Marsh. Who brings down the house literally and figuratively everywhere he performs? It's Marsh. Marsh needs a little appreciation. The good news is he gets it everywhere he goes because he's the most beloved raconteur and chanteur in the woodlands. And, you know, it doesn't matter if it's a skunk or a possum or a raccoon or trash pandas, as I like to call them, or a squirrel or whatever. It's just, they just, you know, come and they love to hear Marsh tell stories. And he's also very well known for his plans. So, and although the player may not be so gracious, Marsh is far too gracious to point out that everyone's taking credit for his masterful plans and the way things have worked out perfectly every time, every clearing they've been to. But he knows.
Yeah. Perfect every time. So can you switch over to the map quick and we can just take a look at where we are?
I can certainly try to. There we go.
We love map. So here we have the group. They were over in Ice Trap with its cliff that is shorter now. And since they are on the run, I believe, on Rhodia's boat, they are heading for just a quick stop in Rooston, which they have been to before. Just doing a quick stop there before they, I believe, are planning to continue on to Flatholm. So I think that's what we got going on. There's been a few faction updates. There's some Corvid conspiracy running around everywhere, but nothing too major that they know about. All right, you can switch back. From my own notes on what happened is they completed their own scheme to destroy the cliffside with the majority of the GUD forces that were in Ice Trap using Fritz-based explosives, which also destroyed the Saucy Squid, the very historical building. The Historical Society, though, is officially registered with the GUD, which allows you to legally operate in GUD territory. But Constance, who is the owner of the Saucy Squid, can't really pyramid scheme that because it doesn't exist anymore. And she's got V's help to do some insurance fraud.
Yeah, it's insurance fraud.
More on that later, I think. I don't think it's important right now, but if you run across her, we'll see how that's going. And for your plan, for what I had, I think it was you're going to Rooston, you're going to see Flan, you're going to grab a hammer, because she improved it. Then you're going to go to Flatholm, see how they're doing, and return the hammer. Rodia's having a bit of a crisis about relationships, also. Vis-a-vis her relationship with Hector and what that means exactly. Because he's talking a lot about, let's run away together. And she was just like, I don't know about this. This has probably been really exciting on the boat. Anyway.
And just to clarify, we are not on the run. We are the heroes who defeated the terrorist. Marsh shot the terrorist, and
Now,
they fell
see,
off a cliff. As far as
the
as far as the mole people are concerned, we are all heroes.
Except Fritz, who definitely is wanted by the GUD, like for sure, the known
No.
terrorist.
The known terrorist Firefox is dead somewhere buried under in the rubble in the bay, so no one needs to worry about it. Fritz is a cat.
Yeah.
And that thing's a fox. So
Well,
what are you
no,
talking
so here's
about?
the thing, though. Fritz has the mask on a lot of the time, so Fritz is a fox and is well known to the GUD.
I don't know, man. All I know is that I'm a hero.
That might be true.
And V is there too.
All right. And V was there too, and Hector is somewhere. We don't know where.
We're the clean paws
We never know where
twins.
Hector is.
So nothing
that's
sticks
true.
to us. Hector's drunk under a bar somewhere.
Let's
Or a
see
beaver.
here.
One or the other.
Oh, yeah, it's like I think Hector's moping over Rhodia.
Yeah, so how was the boat ride over to Rooston? It's not too far from Ice Trap, but it probably took a few days. I don't remember if we rolled for travel or not. But maybe we should do that.
I thought we talked, I don't know. We've
I
taken
think
so
we
many.
talked about it, but I
boat
don't
trips.
think we did.
Yeah. It
I
was
think
just
we
like,
did it at the beginning of last game because we were traveling from the other place to Ice Trap, but I don't think we've rolled for Ice Trap to Rooston.
yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead and do the travel roll, which is definitely somewhere in the book I'm looking in. But it is a 2d6 roll,
Yeah,
and
but-
it's effectively moving not through the woods because this is probably a well-known route.
And we're moving at a nice, moderate pace. Not trying to take any risks. Not trying to be sneaky. We don't have anything to be sneaky about. And if any pirate penguins show up, we will just destroy them like we did the last set.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Except for the one that got
yeah,
away
here
and
we
he'll
are.
come back with an eye patch because that's how you know.
Traveling
it's in this
along
game.
the path. So at a relaxing pace is that everyone clears 3 exhaustion. The band collectively marks a total of 2 depletion, and you get -1 to the roll. Which it makes it more likely to encounter something. An average pace, you clear 2 exhaustion, you mark 1 depletion. Safely quickly under the radar marks 1 depletion and +1 to roll. And then urgently fast, which I don't think you're really thinking about doing.
No.
Well, look. We could try to be a bit incognito. I mean, look, if we're seen, people are going to want us to plan their weddings and other kind of parties. You know, I don't think I'm up to just the demands of the public at the moment. I'm just looking for a nice downtime. So I could be convinced that we should be surreptitious. But I'm curious what other people have to say, because I don't know how to sail this boat or row it or whatever, however it moves.
I mean, yeah, like I don't think we're in like a massive hurry, but we're not exactly like taking our time either. I think we're kind of just average pace, probably.
So not sneaky.
Think we need to be sneaky? I mean, I guess we can be.
I don't know.
It looks like my book has one extra option that's not in the guide.
That's not in the
Yeah,
Because I was looking there and I was like, I don't see a sneaky one.
There is a sneaky. There's a fourth sneakier option that exists for me and not for you,
Oh.
which is you mark 1 depletion and you get +1 to the roll.
Okay.
And the average pace is +0 to the roll. So I don't know what's happened between this and the other thing, but here we are.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Well, I don't care. I want to get to Flatholm. And I know you want to go hang out with your wolf girlfriend, but you have
She's
to.
not my girlfriend.
Oh, you've been reading that letter 5 times a day, every day for weeks.
It's fascinating. The most precious historical artifact that we could ever collect is just the average daily readings of the normal person.
Yeah, from a long time
Obviously.
ago, not from like 3 weeks ago. It's got like dirty paw prints and soot all over it.
Excuse you, I have clean paws.
No, and from her. So I have nothing against your blacksmith, whatever. I'm just saying, we don't have time to dawdle. We've got to get that hammer, the actual historical thing, back to its rightful owner, and be congratulated for our forethought and our efforts to preserve society and history and organized labor. I don't know.
Yeah, we kind of got to work on our title. It's a little mouthful with the wedding
It keeps
planning
getting
and the
longer.
unions and the historical society
And
maybe
labor
now
union.
insurance.
Oh yeah, a labor union and insurance brokerage.
Yeah, we just kind of keep tacking it on there. Anyways, I mean, so are we gonna go off of out of character? Are we going off of the GM book or the guide that we have?
Let's go off of the guide that you have,
Okay.
because that's probably more straightforward.
Okay. Then I think that we just average pace it.
Oh.
I don't think that we need to rush Rodeo.
All right.
Who's rolling it? Cool.
All right, so you can also clear 2 exhaustion, and then you mark 1 depletion collectively.
Cool.
Unless
I
we
rolled a
fish.
10. Oh yeah, I can fish. I like fishing.
Good.
Gotta go
Oh,
fishing.
And 10 is good, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
The trip is uninterrupted and quick. Go ahead and give me a luck roll for fishing. Trust fate, as it were.
8.
Okay, well, I mean, you catch fish, and it's fine, but it's still like marking a depletion, though.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing wild and crazy happens while you're fishing. This time.
This time.
This
No
time.
ruins.
No ruins this time. Though they do exist on the map. Alright, so you approach
and I will
Rooston.
sing because we're traveling. I will sing. I mean, it's a bit of a work in progress, so no judgment. But I will sing the story of the sad tale of, I can't call it Ice Trap because people don't know it as a ice spire that was promised to be really awesome because it had these spires that were super full of ice and cool, and it turns out there's no ice in the spires except for like in the dead of winter, which is dumb because there's ice everywhere then. Anyway, so this complete fraud of a tourist trap town like was in desperate need of help, and then this traveling band of people came, and everyone there was like dirty and weird and strange, and there were hamster people who were very officious and new in town, but they were so attracted to our hero and his gift for a cab that they all came, and there were so many of them that they crowded at the end of the cliff, and it all collapsed and they died. It was sad, but it was kind of their fault. Oh, I should make them lemmings because that's very a lemming thing. See, I'll make a note to myself. And you all get to recover an additional exhaustion. You're welcome.
I'm so unexhausted.
It was so relaxing.
It's called The Ballad of Ice Spire.
So there's
It's
a
called
cliff
Beach
and
and
ice
Bell
spire?
Marsh.
Ask Rodia, because I fell off a cliff, but it was about the spires before.
Well, there was, but then it collapsed because all the lemmings got on it because they wanted to hear more about Flarsh's. No, that doesn't work. Barsh. I'll come up with something. Anyway, they were great fans of the arts. They were great fans of the arts.
Arsh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you approach Rooston. Even from a distance, it is apparent that the martial law imposed by the Great Underground Duchy has taken its toll on the denizens of Rooston. Armed guards line the docks, inspecting boats and cargo. More of the patrol in the streets beyond, with denizens avoiding eye contact and quickly taking care of business. Notices are posted on the newly repaired buildings of the city, warning of curfews and additional laws. There are a few wanted posters with a very familiar masked cat and ninja frog.
I pet my mossy rock. Oh, look, you're a famous tack.
Yeah.
Rodia has not yet pulled into the docks and is sort of like, well, looking at Fritz, you better either hide or come up with a disguise.
Starts lifting the mask up. V pushes it back down.
Yes, good.
Hey, remember when we painted Tack? We should paint Fritz.
We can shave your tail, and then all you have to do is look crazy, and we'll tell everyone you're a possum.
Okay.
With mange or something, so they won't want to get it too close.
Okay.
But yes, I can artistically disguise you.
Yes, Fritz, that's exactly the expression as possums look like when you're doing great.
Yes. So I have something. I thought I have something that helps me with this. Or maybe it's just that the role is something I'm good at. Or maybe not.
Maybe because isn't there like one of the roguish feats
Oh, I don't know.
that ties into that? Maybe.
I think it's just my overweening sense of self-confidence that helps me do things.
I swear we've used it before because I swear we used it on Tag.
No, I think I just
we might
painted
have
them.
just done that for fun.
Maybe.
Which is fine. I don't think this will be a problem until somebody asks you lots of questions, I guess.
All right. We'll just well, hold on. Who do they think we I'm confused. Are you a fox or a cat? And are you supposed to which one is the one you're supposed to be? And the one that
Marsh, that's very rude. Sometimes Fritz is a cat, sometimes Fritz is a fox. That's just how people are.
I'm not judging,
To
I'm
be
just
honest,
confused.
the poster probably would be of a fox.
Oh, that's
is
easy to take
what
the
I
mask
think.
off.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I don't think they noticed you as a cat. They noticed you as the fox with a mask on.
Yes, excellent. So you just have to be a cat. And do you have black ink? Of course you do, V.
You want to use my ink?
Of course. We're going to give Fritz some tiger stripes.
A very scary opossum indeed.
Well, not a possum. Well, we don't need to be a possum anymore. We can just be a cat. We'll reserve the possum for later, just in case. Because you can't really unshave a tail, can you? Didn't think of that, did
I
you?
think it grows back.
Well, yes, but not like immediately. Anyway, all right, hold still. I'm just going to paint, not tiger, but like a cat that has stripes. Because Fritz does not have particularly noticeable stripes. So from a distance, it looks like a striped cat person thing.
Yes. So Fritz has been tabbied.
Also, the stripes help to cover some of the burn marks, scorches, singed fur.
Yeah. Singed fur. So much singed fur. Horrible, horrible injuries. You're probably injured, right? A little bit? Just a little bit. You'll be all right. You probably could have taken care of that on the boat, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a whole thing again about that.
I would 100% have spent some time tending to our friend Fritz, who is definitely a cat, not a fox.
Yes. Blah, blah, blah. Clearing harm, clear injury. So you can just mark 1 depletion to heal the injury.
All right. Well, I have almost nothing left. I'm so poor. I will mark a depletion to heal you, Fritz.
Yes.
Thank
Huzzah.
you.
So you head out. Rhodia pulls into the docks where she's normally gone, where the trade folk live, and she's tying it up. Someone's it looks like someone's came by for a little paperwork stuff, but doesn't pay her too much mind because they work out of the docks here and they gave a rather nice gift at the wedding, so they don't need to interrogate them that much here. And just as she's about to go, like, all right, so we're here, and then a voice comes from down the dock. It says, Rhodia, it's been so long since we saw you here. And you see there is the trade master, whose name is definitely in my list of names. Scroll down. Anchor. Trade master Anchor is there. A large otter with a wrinkly grin wearing many beads and baubles. You have met them before.
Yes.
When you were probing from the gifts. They look a little annoyed. And Rodia's all like, oh, hi. Yep, I'm back from running the ferry. And Trade Master's just like, let's have a little chat, shall we? And she gets whisked away unless you do anything.
Oh,
it, Hector?
Trade Master, it's been so long since we've seen you. I so enjoyed that wonderful ride we took on a boat that one time. And that wonderful gift that we prepared for you. And it was a wonderful experience for us because we got to discover an ancient ancestral clearing that no one has seen in hundreds of years with all sorts of... Oh, I said too much. Anyway, how are things here in town? Do you mind if we tag along?
Well, you might as well. We have a nice chat over some lunch, they say, and...
At Catney Poo's, right?
Oh no, we'll have it on the ship.
Oh, all right, good.
Yeah. As they
I remember the name
live
of
on their
that
ship.
horrible place that we were. I was like, what was it called? And I was like, oh, well, it smelled like urine and everything was sticky. Okay, Catty Poo. It's this word association game I play. Mind like a steel trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's an interesting rock you got there.
I know. It's Tack. They're in disguise.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Just,
Okay.
it's tack.
I see. All right. Well, right this way. And they will lead you over onto their trade ship, the larger houseboat situation, of which there are still people milling about, doing things. They start setting a table for a early lunch. Radia looks nervous.
Hector, is this like a whole you have to ask our father for permission situation? Everyone seems very on edge for no reason.
Look, Rodir is the first beaver that I've dated, and they might have different traditions on the water. You know what sailors are like. They've all got their own rhymes and songs, and
Well, they should leave it
their
to the
own-
professionals. Can't have amateurs out there making up songs.
Right. Mostly they sing work songs. Have you ever worked?
I am a keen observer and can imagine what it might be like to do any manual labor ever. I sang that wonderful song about the work at the thing where they were baking the clay to make stuff. You know what I'm talking about. The thing that blew up in the town before last. It made that one man cry. And he was definitely, and did you see his paws? He definitely was a manual laborer.
Would you mind not mentioning blowing up things around?
We didn't do it. It was those other people.
Right. As you say.
It happened before we even got there. We are the ones who were responsible for setting that entire town, whose name I don't remember, back the way it should be. And founding a historical society and, you know, potentially a Marxist revolution. But it's fine. We're problem solvers, Hector. I know that it's a heavy weight to bear, but it's just something you're going to have to come to peace with, that people are going to come to us with their problems to solve them.
Right. And you have a problem for us to solve?
Says the trade master. Maybe not you specifically, they say, and lunch is being served, so hooray, free food. But I do have some questions for Rudia and her ongoing contract to run the ferry, which I will say has not been running. We've had to acquire redirect several other vessels in our fleet in order to supply the route as needed. So, Rudia, are you continuing the contract, or Rudia's all like, listen, it's just a temporary thing. Had to leave town for a little bit, so you know it's probably fine now. I'll be right back on track. Just maybe like one more little stop and it'll be fine. And the train masters are like, well, this contract here had this and that and this going on, but
Trademaster. Radia's a little embarrassed, so I don't know why she didn't bring this up, but we were attacked by a penguin, pirate, mercenary, knight, sort of.
Yes.
Whatever it was definitely a penguin. And the boat was damaged, and we had to put in for repairs. That's really all there is to it.
And then when we arrived at that one place, terrorists had blown up the kilns, ha 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 ha. And then we had to investigate that. And then there was a young girl who'd gone off and decided to hide in a bear cave with an actual bear, whatever. But her granny was like, oh, don't let her eat my child. So we had to do that. Then we had to have a historical society. Then we had to find out who was responsible for blowing things up and take care of all of that. And I had to write a song that we sung through the ages. And then we were on our way back so Rudia could fulfill her contract. And we got waylaid at ice, the place that has the caves that doesn't have any ice in it, but they call it ice caves anyway.
ice trap.
Yes. Well, you wouldn't believe what's going on there. Lots of thieving. The mole people had arrived, ostensibly to bring order, but it seemed like things were getting completely out of hand. There was a real problem with gambling in that town. And then there was an unfortunate kind of geological event, which probably damaged those docks. So Rudia has been through a lot, but she has, I have heard her multiple times, mention that she is doing everything she can to live up to her responsibilities.
Rudy is nodding along, like, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And the trade master is like, interesting. You don't think this has to do anything with the passengers you happen to be transporting, who definitely paid their fees? And Rudy is like, no,
I don't see how it
I don't
could.
think so.
All these things were in motion before we arrived. If anything, we tried to set things right. And I will say, we may bear some responsibility for delaying Radia because we can't bear to leave things, we can't bear to leave loose ends, you know, with people suffering and lost children. So I'm sure you can't begrudge Radia for helping to find lost children and, you know, make sure that seawalls are repaired so entire towns don't drown.
Look,
It's good for the brand and it's good for business.
when there is a penguin about, there is also icebergs. And we had to avoid the icebergs. So putting it into a town dock was clearly the sensible thing to do.
Pay no attention to Hector.
All right, you gotta roll the lie, because this is someone who lives on the water, telling them icebergs are in the lake.
He's not
Never let go of
lying.
Hector.
He probably sees icebergs, but it's not. We don't have the heart to tell him.
Yeah, he has a bit of a problem.
Yes.
Trick an NPC?
Yeah, that's the one.
That would be 9.
All right. I choose one. Let's go with the overreact, because I think you're probably going to want a +1 for later in this discussion. So there's a +1 forward on the further conversation with them, and the trade master goes, icebergs. Really, icebergs.
That was just the name of the pirate ship, and it kind of blew up. So there were pieces of the iceberg that we had to avoid.
It's absolutely true.
And there was no icebergs at Ice Trap. We did check.
There's practically no ice at all. All there was in those caves was stolen goods that had been liberated from the wood shop area thing. And we also made sure that the townspeople got that back. And all of which is now associated with your enterprise. People know that wherever Rodia comes, problems get solved.
Do they?
Yes.
The trade master says
They
to
do.
Rudy, and Rudy is like, well, I seem to recall, the trade master continues, that this isn't the first time you've skipped out on a contract. And he glances over at Hector and looks back at Rudy, is all like, what happened to that sandhill crane? Victor? It was a few months ago, right? Rita's like, oh, don't worry. It's not like that at all. I'm just here doing the just helping them get around the lakes. That's it. And the trade master's like, okay. So, just helping them around the lakes, and that's it. We aren't running off again with no notice for months on end, right? No? All right. Well, I'm glad that's settled. I hope we all had a great lunch. Looking forward to seeing the ferry back in action for the rest of your contract, he says. And he goes around they go around and shake all your hands, but especially, Hector, your hand. Aggressively.
Thank you for treating us to lunch.
It's no problem, he says. They say. Right. So you all leave. And Rodia's all like, cool. I'm going to go back to the ship. You all have fun.
Wait,
Thanks,
Radia. Radia,
Yeah.
I don't want to alarm you, but I think that relationship is on its last legs, and you should definitely run away with me now.
Now is not the time, Hector. And she goes back into the ship and slams the door. Well, her ship.
There, Hector. One day you'll get it right.
One day. Perhaps we could ask a ghost.
Well,
Old people have lots of experience with them.
yes. Well, order of operations. What we need to help Rodia is to ensure that she gets lots and lots of paying customers to ride from here to Flathome, which, given the state of things here, should be relatively easy. But if it's not easy, or if there's some sort of reason why people wouldn't want to pay to get out of here, we can always summon a ghost to frighten people. That will then kick them over the edge to, like, we have to get out of here. And it's like, oh, we just so happen to have a ferry that's headed over here to this wonderful, lovely place. And you shall pay double. And then Rodia will make a bunch of money, satisfy the terms of her contract, buy out the remainder, and then she can, well, not fly away with you, that'd be weird, but she can go and do whatever it is that birds and beavers do.
Ah, yes, the birds and the beavers.
And we'll never know, actually.
It's like you can't even hold pause. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying. It's weird. Maybe it's a dancing thing because some birds like to dance. I don't know.
Anyways,
So that's our plan.
Also need
Save
to go get
Rodia.
that hammer.
Yes, and return Pat the porcupine's hammer to him.
Yes. And then
Alright.
we can look and see if we can find any paying desperate people that need to escape this horrifically oppressive society.
You mean fine,
And
upstanding
I
individuals
think
who are
that
on
they're-
officially sanctioned travel business by the wonderful forces of the Grand Unified Duchy, who
Yeah.
are our best friends.
Yeah, that one. We should probably find out if there's any forms that we need to fill out for that.
Historical expedition. We're already licensed to be able to operate in Grand Unified Duchy territory.
Yep. I have all the paperwork right here.
Yes. Now we have to just convince people they need to pay to be on a historical expedition, but we'll figure that out.
So, a triple-pronged attack. V, you go and get the hammer. Fritz, you blow up as many homes as possible. And Marsh, you go on a historical expedition.
Wait. What did you just tell Fritz to do?
What did you have to drink at lunch? I was watching. It didn't seem like it was that much.
We need
I
paying
think the problem
customers.
is that he's
We
sober.
need refugees. That's what you said, Marsh.
No, I didn't say anything about bullying. You know better than to mention that. That's teasing, Fritz. That's mean. We should only mention bullying
Meanwhile,
things.
Fritz is
Look at
already...
how
Yes.
grumpy they look now.
We should only look. They're all puffed up like that. We should only mention blowing things up when we mean it, or else it makes Fritz sad.
We're not looking for refugees. We need genuinely excited people that want to go learn about history and spread the word of the Woodland Historical Society. I mean, really, if we're going to expand our operations, we need to expand our employment base. And obviously, we're unionized and offer insurance, so who wouldn't want to be part of our group?
Unpaid interns, all that's required is they pay their own travel expenses, and they'll get the experience of a
Exactly.
lifetime.
Yes. And then maybe one day they can join us and actually get paid, but we won't actually pay them.
Who knows?
I mean, we can't pay them right now. So, we're getting this venture off the ground.
Yes.
We could offer timeshares in the historical society.
Even better, they can get it on the ground level, and all they have to do is give us a bunch of money, and then find like a bunch of other people to give them money, and we take a cut of that. And then all those people give them money, they give them money, and give them money. We take a cut of each of those things, and then pretty soon
There you
everyone's a member
go.
of the historical society, and we're rich.
Yeah. This is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We should find people that are desperate.
Smart
Historically inclined enough.
and entrepreneurial enough to see
And
the
desperate enough
opportunity.
to get out of here.
Well, I mean, that too.
Yeah.
It is rather drab. Last time we were here, it was so festive. I wonder what could have happened.
No idea. I don't think we'll be planning a wedding this time. Look, I'll go talk to Flan.
Who's that?
I don't know. The blacksmith with the hammer.
Oh, your girlfriend. Okay.
Anyways, one of you should probably figure out if we need any more forms from the GUD, just in case we need to make it look like this is legit.
All
And
right.
then we also need to find people that are actually going to buy into this.
I will inquire as to the travel policies and what the restrictions are or opportunities to hire / sign people on or whatever. I don't know. I'll come up with something.
You should tap into your network of friends and see if anybody's interested.
Yeah, I don't have to do anything. I'll just walk through town and people will come flocking
Yeah,
to me.
that works. Yeah, sure. Do that.
Yeah.
Keep Fritz away from fire.
Yes.
Cool.
So I go with Marsh.
Yeah, I don't think taking you to the smithery is a good idea.
Hmm.
Fair point.
Don't worry, Hector will keep an eye on you. I would say it would be me, but that would be lying. Actually, Hector,
All
you
right.
probably have to keep an eye on both of us.
Here, I brought these leashes.
Ooh, jewelry. You shouldn't have.
Yeah. They look real nice right there on your wrist. Hector, don't let go of this.
So V, you head over to the blacksmith, which isn't that far from the docks. But the forge is cold. Flan doesn't seem to be there, but Wolf, you pretty sure is her brother. You see him notice you, and he walks over and is like, "Oh, hey, can I help you with anything?"
Yeah, I was looking for Flan.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of weird. She didn't show up for work today. And, I haven't seen her since yesterday, so I thought that was a little odd. My name's Dannery, by the way. You can just call me Dan.
Nice to meet you, Dan. I'm V. I'll look around, see if I can find her. You wouldn't happen to have a craftsman's hammer in the smithery, do you?
Oh,
It was
I can.
an order I dropped off a while ago.
Oh yeah, I can see what's been completed. And he goes back, and there's some light rummaging noises. And he's like, "Oh, is it this one? Yeah. Oh, yep. For V. Yep. Here you go. Looks like it's all done."
Go take the hammer. Shove it delicately into the pack of papers. So where did you last see Flan?
Well, she said she was working late last night, and I was like, "Cool, I'll be over at the bar, and I'll see you later." And then I came back, and workshop was all tidied up mostly. There was a few things sitting out. I put them away. And then I went to bed. And usually she started by now. But she wasn't in her room, so...
Is there anywhere that she goes outside of home?
Not unless I make her go. There's probably a few spots I could check. I'll let you know if you stop by again, I'll let you know if I've seen her or not.
I mean, I could help you check those spots if you wanted, so that, less time. Don't want to leave her waiting for too long if something's happened.
Oh, I'm sure it's nothing much. And you can go since you're in the Smith area, go ahead and what's our version of looking around in this?
Read a tense situation.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, how cunning am I? I don't remember. What is cunning? That is a 10.
Cool, you can ask 3 of the questions.
What should I be on the lookout for?
So when you were looking in the smithy itself, and he was mentioning, oh, there was a few things out and put it away, you're looking around going like, I wonder if what she was working on. And you're looking around, and you see kind of like an outline, like maybe there was some soot in the shape of something that was on the anvil, because this is how smithing works. I don't know. And it's in particular shape, and you're looking at it a few times. You're like, what? This is familiar for some reason, and I don't know why until you remember the page that you gave her of the GUD designs from the book, and the shape that is left there looks awfully familiar.
Uh-oh. In that case, who or what is the biggest threat?
As you are pondering, in fact, how someone who was working on something at the night and would have left a few things out and is gone the next day, perhaps this is related to the GUD and their general crackdown of the area.
Alright. And now, what is my best way through, I guess?
You can elaborate a little more on what you want from that question.
Like, what's my best way to find out where they took her?
I mean, it could be straightforward enough to ask the guard if they've imprisoned anybody recently.
Oh yeah, I need to make notes on all prisoners because this is, one of them could escape and it would be a historical event for the Woodland Historical Society to make note of.
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
So while you contemplate this, we move over to Marsh, Hector, and Fritz. Fritz, you hear somebody. Marsh is a little farther ahead, I presume, distracted. And you hear someone go, hey, you, over here. And if you look, it is your friend Jonas, who is, what is he, a bluebird, I think? Wears cool outfits. Blue jay, sorry. Bird about town. This is an excellent description. Wearing a leather duster with bright blue feathers. But he's standing in, of course, an alleyway, because why wouldn't you be? And he's waving you over.
Fritz will go over.
Cool. Hector, you notice Fritz go over to an alleyway. What do you do?
I look at Marsh going on ahead, blithely. I look at Fritz, who's going in a completely opposite way, having a tiny panic attack, and then I'm going to follow Fritz. Marsh can usually talk his way out of whatever he talks his way into. Sometimes.
Perfect. Love it. So you also duck into the alley, and Jonas says, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you guys back in town. Things have been a bit of a drag here. He's looking around to make sure no one's particularly paying attention. And he says, I have a bit of a proposition for you. And I'll take your silence as you'd like to hear more. I have an interesting relationship with a certain group of people, or maybe against a little bit of what's going on here in the city with the recent martial law and lockdown and all of this. And he's pointing at a poster with a bunch of like new curfew rules, etc., etc., etc. And he says, but we're coming up with a plan. But I need a little help in implementing most of it, and it might involve destroying the tunnel with explosive force. If they can't get more resources in quickly from the duchy itself, we'll have plenty of opportunity to, take care of this situation. You following me?
We would love to help, but the truth is that we're a little strapped for cash right now.
Well, we can work with that a little bit. I have some resources at my disposal, but probably not in the realm of payment that you're looking for. If you knew a way to get your hand on any large amount of explosives, that would be very conductive to our plan,
Well, I'm not sure it's impossible, but tell me about the rest of your plan.
Well, you see, if you put explosives in a tunnel, it'll collapse it for sure.
Right,
That's
but
what I got.
afterwards, when the GUD are hunting for whoever put the explosives there, how are you going to hide?
Well, to be fair, if it was you who was putting the explosives, you have to hide. But don't worry about that part, because I think we have some agents in town who can help run a distraction and make sure they don't know how this was caused. There's a certain time when they are changing out their guard that it's easier to slip in unnoticed and slip out.
I'm a bit concerned about this. I think that your agents in town, while I'm sure they're very useful, if they were that skilled, they would be able to place the explosives themselves. I think that you should consider perhaps leaving town. That way, they will know for sure that you're innocent.
Well,
If you leave town before the explosives go off, then you'll have an alibi.
That's true, that I would. But then I couldn't see the explosion happen, which is very exciting. But I see your point.
Listen, if you book a trip to Flathome on the ferry, I know at what time the ferry leaves, and I will have explosives placed by the time that ferry leaves. And then as the ferry goes out into the bay, the explosion will happen, and you'll be able to see, and everyone will know you're innocent.
Roll to convince an NPC. Persuade, sorry.
3.
Oh no! Do we even have any boons yet? I don't think we do. No, only for me. He's all like, that sounds a lot like just trying to get me out of town, even if I can see the explosion. Listen, I think, even if you are just able to provide us with, say, some explosive materials, we can certainly have our people move them in and set it up and get it working. You won't even have to do any of that part. Just give us some of the supplies and it'll be fine.
Is there anything over top of the tunnel?
Yeah, they have their, like, tent building that is sort of over it to stop rain and stuff from going in.
But there's no, like, denizen houses or anything.
Maybe farther down the tunnel, but hopefully with this collapse, everything will just kind of back up the system without causing too much damage. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Fritz, what do you think?
Probably be easier to watch the explosion happen from boat view instead of right up close.
All right, Fritz, you try to convince this Jonas. I believe in all of your non-talking people. I guess your charm isn't that bad.
So that would be a 10 if it's
All
plus
right.
charm.
It is. And I think on that, they see things your way as long as you've given them strong motive or reasonable bribe. Perhaps not the strongest motive. I think if you commit to doing the plan, I think the reverse will be true then, that he'll buy in on the ferry. All right. Well, if you get the explosives, maybe even help set them up, I'll be on that ferry, and maybe me and some of the gang will be on the ferry out of town then.
It's a deal. And then Fritz and I are going to head out of town towards the explosive dump.
Yeah.
Oh, just the two of you, huh? Cool. Marsh, you and Tack are on your way to the, I don't know, office number 7 that has the appropriate paperwork. Something does catch your eye, though. There is a poster that isn't a wanted poster of Fritz and Tack for once, and isn't one that's just all of the new curfew rules. There's one saying help wanted, like an official GUD poster saying help wanted. Let me see if I wrote down the vibe of what I wanted the help to be. Need competent adventurers, will pay handsomely, see Commander Warham for further details. And the handsomely part is an 8 value reward
Ooh.
for completion of this very vague job.
Well, Tack, I know you had some issues with Commander Warren before, so just tell me if you don't want me to go find out what that is about. All right, then I think that's wise. I'll pick that up too.
Okay. So you grab that. You head to the office place. There is, in fact, an incredibly long line, as there was in another place, of everyone who needs additional paperwork for whatever. And eventually, you get to the head of the line and see the clerk up there, and they say, welcome. What do you need?
Well, so mostly information. So I'm licensed to operate as an executive in the Woodlands Historical Preservation Society, labor union, and insurance agency. So thank you very much for that. But we're curious about what the labor regulations are if we were to want to bring on some unpaid interns for an expedition outside the city.
Yes, an expedition. Yes. Starts looking through some papers, flipping through, saying, yes, okay, yes, your class E, yeah, that will be allowed. All right, so if you fill out this form and this form and this one, you should be allowed to bring on as many interns as you would like for any
Wonderful.
amount of pay, including 0.
Yes. Excellent. And I will have my scribe fill this out.
Perfect. If you could just have that filled out and return the forms before the expedition begins, we can get that sent to HQ.
My pleasure. Also, there's this thing about, people needing famous. Well, I didn't say famous, but it implies famous. Surely you've heard of me. But it seems like your wonderful bureaucracy needs a little bit of help with a problem.
She says, yes. Oh, you're in luck. Commander Worm happens to be in this office right now.
Oh,
if you would just like to head over there.
Well, hold on a second. I have to
see him.
I have to brush myself. I mean, he saw me at my best last time we met, so I was prepared for the stage. I have to make myself beautiful again. Fluff myself up.
Perfect. Yes, I'll let him know he should be expecting you.
All right.
And they pass a note to another mole who passes a note to another mole, and then another one, and then that one gets up and opens.
Oh, did you file that before you? Did you make a copy and file it?
Oh no, we don't need to make a copy of that one. It's just the note to let him know that he's supposed to expect somebody, and it goes into the mail tube, which is literally just like a hole in the wall that they poke through. And
well, how very progressive of you to not make a copy of it at every stage. Oh, it's fine.
It's the latest technology.
I just remember the good old days.
It's a policy for inter-office, internal to one office location that you don't need to make a copy, you see. But when it moves locations, we do have to make additional copies.
I see.
But when you're ready.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm always ready for an audience. Oh, my dear Commander Warham.
I see. How's your wedding planning business going?
Well, so we haven't been able to plan another wedding as such, unfortunately. Although there has been quite a bit of demand. We've been too busy rescuing wayward children and helping to rebuild walls and, performing as we do.
Well, I'm glad you've been keeping busy.
Yes.
You're here to see me about the job.
Well, it did seem like you needed help, and as a friend, thought I would offer, at least to understand what the nature of it is. I mean, as skilled as we are and as wonderful sort of contacts and experience we have, we may not be capable of exactly what it is that you're looking for, but I thought I would at least offer, if it's within our power to help you.
Yes, I'm not too sure if wedding planners can typically handle the situation, but you do travel between the clearings a lot, and
it's true.
It might be within your wheelhouse. So you were aware of the events of the wedding.
Well, I was poisoned very publicly on stage
yes.
for part of it.
Mhm.
So I was a little groggy, but I didn't know that there was like a
Yes.
fire or something.
Yes, yes. There was the fire. The barn exploded, and
Yes.
of note, Lieutenant Proxima was kidnapped.
Yes. Has that been
by
resolved?
Well, you see, the job is to get her back.
Oh.
She's being ransomed by the Erie Dynasty,
Interesting.
held in, I think. Hold on, where are they holding? I think she's held in Patchwood currently.
Interesting. Well, she is a delight. Or am I thinking of the other one? No, they're both delights.
You're probably maybe Nellie's a little more cheerful, but at any rate,
I like them both. Well, just so you know, in case you haven't heard from your contacts in ice thing.
Trap.
Yes. Well, there was some sort of horrible, well, there was a lot of things going on that weren't so great. A lot of thieving and I think maybe some sabotage and gambling and things. We unfortunately were not able to prevent the horrific attack against the GUG forces there. But I was able to land the killing blow on a certain firefox. And then they fell off a cliff and died.
Are you sure?
Well, I shot them in the back and they fell off a cliff. And they didn't come back. So I assume they're dead.
All right, roll to trick an NPC.
I will spend an exhaustion to roll as if I rolled a 12+.
Fair enough.
I ain't risking that stuff. Devilish
All right.
charm, baby.
Good to know. Good to
I will even
know.
act out dramatically. And I pulled
Yeah.
forth. The other moles were running to and fro and, falling over each other, whatever. And there was a great hue and cry. And there they were, the evil firefox still smoldering from the wreckage that they had created, laughing at everyone, saying, "Oh, you'll never catch me, copper." And I pulled out the F-sharp harp and they laughed. It's like, "What are you going to do with that?" And then I shot them. And then they, oh no, my dastardly deeds. All the things I was going to do to ruin the Great Unified Duchy's plans and future. Oh no, it's all been foiled by this one heroic mink. I'm a mink, by the way, not a stoat. Anyway. Oh, blood, red handkerchief, blood. And then they fell off the cliff and died.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Very dramatic. I will update the troops on this. So
It just means that no one's going to be able to collect the... Oh, is there a reward? I saw a bunch of posters going after naming the Firefox as someone that you're interested in.
Reward is paid out when there is physical evidence of their demise.
Oh, well, that's fine. No, well, you don't have to worry about it. You can take that out of your budget because no one's going to find physical... No one's going to capture them because they're dead and in the ocean and probably eaten by fishes.
Yes. Anyway, so the job is to go to Patchwood and steal Proxima back from the Erie Dynasty, where they are holding her.
Well, I like that idea.
I also like that idea.
And we have some... we have a wonderful old friend who used to be a member of the dynasty. Before they were kicked out of, the one that's just like a couple of stops down the coast. The place with that place. Anyway, before they were kicked out there, and he was took around, and we made friends with him. He might be able to provide us with some intel. Would you be sending soldiers along?
No, this is they would be expecting Great Underground Duchy members to attend.
So we would need a ruse to cover for people who are moving, a force moving that wasn't associated with the duchy. What if it was a historical expedition. I was just speaking to one of your clerks about setting up a historical expedition, and I have the paperwork right here. You might be able to take some of, I assume that you have agents who are non-mole, that you might be able to use to swell our ranks, just to ensure the successful return of Proxima.
Unfortunately, we don't have that many resources allotted to this venture. It is merely the reward. This wouldn't be the first group that we've sent. So
do they all
far.
have their eyes pecked out?
It happens from time to time.
It does. All right. Well, if we can't hire people as if we can't hire people as historical society interns, we can hire them as adventurers for a share of the reward. Either way, we have the permit.
If you could find people that wanted to join your group, you could hire them.
Yes.
With the reward money as it is, but
yes. Or
the reward is paid for her safe return.
Yes. Or the recovery of Proxima is a historical event, therefore our unpaid interns are actually learning on the job by participating in her recovery.
I don't need to know the details on how you're going to do this. Are you interested in taking the job?
Yes.
Or
I will have to speak to my compatriots, of course, but anything to help dear Proxima. And I have to imagine that poor Nellie is also just heartbroken.
Quite.
Yes, well, we can't have that, can we?
No, we can't. At this point, Commander Worm has stood up from his desk and is like walking to the door in that way of opening the door for you to leave.
Yes, I bow with a flourish. Always a pleasure. Mostly putting on a show for everyone else that's waiting in line to see. Oh, so good. We'll have to have dinner next time I'm in town.
He shuts the door. All right. So that's what's going on
don't
there.
You think?
He opened this door. Attack. No. So V, what's your plans?
Well, actually, I need to find some guards and figure out where they hold their prisoner. By being adorable and innocent and a member of the Woodland Historical Preservation Society.
Yeah. So we find some guards, and they're like, no loitering. Move along.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just had a quick question, and then I'll get back about my business. You see, I'm a member of the Woodland Historical Preservation Society. I'm not sure if you've heard of us just yet. We're just barely getting started, but we are spreading rapidly across the woodlands. Very interested in detailed recordings of history and the current events of what is happening in our time. And I was just wondering if there was a chance that you could tell me where you keep your prisoners.
Well, we keep them in the jail, of course. It's a very silly question.
Yes. Well, more specifically, how would one go about getting access to interviewing those people in jail, since, obviously the villains of our society must also be interviewed in order to gain an accurate and non-judgmental perspective of our time.
Go ahead and roll to... I don't know. Up to you whether this is tricking or persuading.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's tricking, because persuading is promises or threats.
Yeah.
And tricking is you want something.
Yeah, I do want something. I just lost someone. All right. These dice are being nice to me tonight. That's 13.
Cool. They take the bait and do what you want. He goes, oh, all right. I agree that his history is very important. And the other one's like, oh yeah, it just came through on the paperwork the other day about this historical society. I was reading the most recent information that was just registered and they talk about how it was just registered for a bit. And they say, well, we can escort you over to the jail and explain the situation. I'm
That
sure it'll
would
be fine.
wonderful.
Cool.
Thank you so much. We'll have to list you in the footnotes as very important pieces of getting us to where we are as a historical society.
Oh, please, don't ask my name. I'm just a regular old guard of the Great Underground Duchy.
Guard 1 and Guard 2.
Yeah, we don't need our names recorded in history for any reason. They will lead you over to the jail. There's, of course, a hilarious scene where they're like, another prisoner. And they're like, no, not that. And they explain and say, all right, well, yes. So here's a list of our current prisoners. Here, let me just copy that for you.
Yes, of course.
They do. And they fill out some other paperwork. All right. And your name?
Oh, my name is Vidari Patami.
Yes, thank you. And they write it down and I say, all right, do you want someone to escort you or are you good?
Oh, I think I'm all right. I trust that your jail cells are more than capable of holding back these fiends.
Yes. All right. Well, holler if you need help. And they let you back. There's like an aisle that's going back with cells on either side. And there aren't many people there, and Flannery's name is on the list. So,
okay. Let's go find Flan. If I can.
All right, so you run back, and you find Flan. And she looks sad and miserable in her cell. Sad puppy.
Oh, you're okay, thank goodness.
Oh, V! I didn't expect to see you here. They said they wouldn't let any visitors in. I don't know why I'm here. And they took everything from the smithy thing that I was working on, and they said that I stole something, and I don't know what they're talking about.
I have no idea what they could possibly be talking about.
I was just working on the design that you had given me that page from when that letter, probably. Because it looked kind of neat, and they're like, they're just wondering where I got it from.
Right. I didn't think you were gonna make anything from that. I just thought it looked cool.
It did look cool. You know, the reason why you make things is because then it looks cool, but off of paper.
Yeah. You know, I'm sure we can come up with a reasonable explanation for this. So, what exactly did you make? And how exact was it to the original?
Well, I say, not knowing actually what the thing was. She describes it, and you're like, I don't know what that is. But she knows what it is. And says, I was trying to go for a pretty accurate measurement of what it was and the pattern and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was an intricate design.
Yeah, I'm sure it looked great. Okay, so I don't know, did they do like trials or did they kind of just like throw you in jail?
They kind of just barged into the smithy in the middle of the night and dragged me off to jail. So I don't know if they do trials.
Right. Okay. Have you told them anything?
Well, I didn't understand what was going on. I just said I was working on this design, and they're like, where's the book? And I'm like, what book?
Yeah. Oh. You know what?
Tough, can you roll a trust fate?
Oh no. I'm so lucky. Oh no, my dice hate me now. I got a 6.
Cool. Well, I did tell them that I got the page from you.
Mm.
Is that bad?
You see, Flan, sometimes you do things to make ends meet that you're not exactly proud of, and those things probably shouldn't be talked about. Okay, look. There was this whole thing where we came up with this fake wedding plan business so that we could get closer to the mole, so that we could, steal the book, because we needed to steal the book in order to make money for another secret organization that was working to destroy the moles. And we kind of sort of accidentally blew up a barn, but also we got the book, and then I made copies of the book, and then I sent you that page because I thought it was going to look really cool, and I didn't think that you'd wind up in jail because of it. I'm really sorry, and I didn't mean to, and I'm going to figure out a way to get you out of here, I promise.
Oh my gosh. Are you going to get in trouble? I don't want you to get in trouble. And then they both freaked out at each other for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I think like, okay, we'll be fine. It's fine. I just got to do some of those weird breathing exercises that Marsh does. Okay, we'll be okay. Look, I've gotten out of stickier situations. We literally just blew up an entire, mole city, and they don't even think that it was us, so...
You blew up a mole city?
Well, actually, it was a gambling hole, and it was just a cliff edge, and then there just happened to be a bunch of mole people on the edge, and then they kind of just... fell.
You're lucky you're cute.
I know, right? Anyways, look, we're really good at getting out of these sorts of situations. Just let me work my magic. I'll talk with my crew and see if we can figure something out. I'm sure we can just pin the blame on some nameless figure that won't face any repercussions for things that we did. And also get you out.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
It was then that Flan realized she liked a criminal. I've never broken the law in my life. What is happening?
Oops. I mean, technically I haven't been caught, so... And really, it wasn't me doing the crimes, it was somebody else kind of working for me doing the crimes. So, my paws are clean.
Of course.
Naturally. Cool. I'll scribble some gibberish down on a piece of paper so it looks like I was actually doing something. Be like, okay, I promise, Glenn, I'll be back for you. I'm not gonna leave you here. You'll be okay. I'll be back. Okay. Bye. And then scurry out. Yeah.
So Hector and Fritz, are you leaving town to go get some explosives?
Unless Fritz objects.
Yes.
All right. It's probably going to take you, I think it's an overnight trip to get to there.
It's days. Full round trip. And I'm sure you guys can carry a lot on your own. It's fine.
Don't worry, Marsh. We can blaze a trail, literally.
Yeah. This will be good. All right. So go ahead and let's just do one of those traveling rolls for traveling outside of the off the path, I believe. And that can just kind of represent the journey. So
I would like to move slowly, foraging heavily, on the basis that I don't have the depletion points left to do any of the other moves.
That is fair. And of course, V and Marsh, you wouldn't have to mark depletion because you don't know where these guys went. So go ahead and do that roll then.
Fritz, if you would like to roll.
It's just a straight 2d6 roll, right?
Yes. 2d6 and it'll be minus 1. Yeah.
It's a 7.
All right. So on a 7 to 9, something from the forest is following you. You can mark exhaustion or let it catch up.
Is it a moose?
Probably let it catch him.
Oh, you're letting it catch up, huh?
Sure.
Cool.
Fine.
All right. So you noticed for some time that something had been following you, but you're like, yeah, it's fine. We can probably beat it up. You're probably less excited with your decision when, yes, indeed, a baby moose appears. But of course, a baby moose in this situation is probably double the size of a regular moose. Like our moose, not their moose. And it's interested in you for some reason. I don't know. Baby reasons. Yeah, exactly. Look up. There it is, the moose. So it's approaching you curiously. What do you do?
Stand still.
I stand still behind Fritz.
Good. Both of you can try to hide. Attempt a roguish feat.
I do not have a feat, so I'm going to have to do Trust Fate.
Yes.
I do have that feat, so I'll do the roguish feat thing.
Twelve.
It's an 8.
An 8. All right. So on the 8 for the roguish feat itself, you can either mark exhaustion or a risk comes to bear of hide, which is expending resources, leaving evidence, or taking too long.
Probably mark exhaustion.
Yeah. Okay, so you both stand absolutely still for what seems like forever, and the baby moose sniffs you, and Fritz, you get a big old lick. But since you aren't moving, it gets bored immediately and just like turns around and walks away. And then in the distance, you hear an even larger creature, which you must presume is the moose parent, having collected the baby moose from where it wandered off to as they leave the area. And you start moving again once their incredibly large footprints, foot stomps, can be heard and felt no more. So that was your excitement on your way to the explosive ruins. So you're there now. You can stock up on your explosive supplies if you would like, as I'm presuming you are doing.
Yes.
Fritz, how much explosives do you think we'll need to blow up the tunnel?
Probably a lot.
Maybe a barrel? We could put it on its side and roll it back.
May need a couple barrels.
Yes, a couple of barrels is a great idea. We'll have to be sneaky and stealthy when we get back to town. but it's sure to be enough.
Yes.
Surely. You both can mark or recover 2 depletion to represent the explosives that you're carrying. Cool. So you head back at some point, and we'll get back to that later. So anyway, Marsh, you probably run into V in town. How's it going?
Hi, V.
Where are Hector and Fritz?
Oh, they're just around here somewhere. Oh, I don't know. Probably fell in a hole or something.
Or something. Which concerns me. Anyways,
I mean,
look,
just before we leave that point, we all clearly remember me telling Hector to keep an eye on us. Yes?
yes.
So we're
I
clear
remember.
that whatever's happening is entirely his fault.
Yeah, probably.
All right, good.
I mean, I guess it's probably better that he went. Actually, I don't know if it's better that Hector and Fritz are alone.
Oh, I don't know. So how did you fare with the lovely, what's her name?
So she might be in jail because of me, and we need to fix that.
How is she in jail because of you?
So remember that book we stole from the wedding that we gave to, I think, the Corvid conspiracy? It was like the big gift that we took. And then I
Oh,
made
right.
copies
That was one
it.
of the 17 things that we had to, yes, of course.
Yes, yeah, that was the big thing, the whole reason that we did
Yeah,
it.
the super secret thing, the thing that we had to keep like completely private and never tell anyone about, yes.
Yeah, so I might have sent her a page from the book because it had some cool weapons on it. And then she might have gotten arrested for trying to make those.
Well, I'm guessing that's not good.
No, because she might have also told them that I'm the one that gave them to her.
Well, look. My mouth is full of things that I could be saying right now, but I'm going to be nice and not say them. And also because there's a lot of them, it's hard to say like 17 things at once. I've tried. Well, all we have to do now is have a plausible reason whereby you would have a design for some sort of very specific mole weapon. Yeah, you're a historian. Simple enough. You came across it in your research, took a peek at something, I don't know. And then we can talk up your wolf girlfriend's prowess as a designer and blacksmith person and her many other skills. And then I can convince Commander Warm to release her to our custody to go with us as we go to rescue Proxima from the Eagle people.
Wait. What does Commander Warren have to do with this?
Oh, he's going to pay us a huge amount of money to go and rescue Proxima, which we want to do anyway because she's nice. And also Nellie's very, very sad that her beloved is off with the Eagles.
I mean, I do it more for Nellie than Proxima, but okay.
I know, right?
Doesn't Commander Worm not like Tack?
Well, I asked Tack if it was okay that we go talk to him, and Tack didn't say no, so. And
Okay, we're just
Tack was always talking about how I can't be around Commander Worm. Commander Worm would recognize me and didn't recognize Tack, and Tack was sitting right there in my arms. So clearly not a problem. You're very paranoid, Tack. It's all right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I think it is theoretically safe to say that we could probably get her out by saying that we just found a copy from their very secret book that somehow wound up.
Not a copy of a book? As far because you didn't give her a copy of the book, right? You gave her one page.
Well, yeah, but it was still a page out of the secret book. There's not just going to be a bunch of those lying around. That's why it's a secret book.
I don't know.
Look, just we can just say that maybe, because obviously the corporate conspiracy did it, obviously.
Yes.
So these traitors and rebels that we've been fighting against anyways were in Oakenhold, and I happened to find the page there, and then I sent it to her as a gift.
Or, as we were groggy from being drugged and the explosion, you saw something really pretty on a piece of paper and picked it up because that whole book got blowed up, right?
True.
You didn't know what it was. You saw it. You thought it'd be pretty, and you gave it to your girlfriend because she's a blacksmith and didn't realize. And neither she nor you recognized the. You recognized the fine design and potential historical significance. You just didn't realize it was sensitive.
Yeah, maybe that'll work.
Yeah.
Great.
Because it's literally, it was a page that I found from a book that was destroyed in an awful fire/terrorist attack.
Right.
All of that is
then
true.
I went to the jail to interview prisoners, realized that she was there,
Learned
and
the
was
story.
confused, learned what happened, and now I'm trying to fix it. Okay,
Yes.
this'll work.
Wonderful. Easy enough.
Perfect. Great.
Easy enough.
Did you get the paperwork for the interns?
Yes, I told them that I would have my scribe fill them out, and by my scribe I mean you.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to fill them out.
Of course, yeah. I wouldn't deny you the pleasure.
I mean, it is very exciting,
Whatever.
actually. Oh, I should have been born a mole. Anyways, give me the papers.
All right, here you go. This gives us the right to hire as many people for as much pay or as little pay as we want. And Commander Warm and I were discussing a plan that the recovery of Proxima is a historic event. So if we recruit people to be our unpaid / paying their own way historical society interns, then they are bound to help us in enacting a historic event, which is the rescue of Proxima. It's part of their on-the-job training.
Right, of course. I mean, bearing witness to such a historical event is payment in and of itself, obviously.
Exactly. And the
We just
fame...
have to recoup costs of hiring the ferry to get us there.
Exactly. Look, the benefits of being a historical preservationist are fame and fortune. They get a share of the fame, but we have to keep the share of the fortune.
Naturally.
Of course.
Right.
I love it when plans come together. And Commander Warren was stunned
nice.
silent by the brilliance of my tactical mind.
I'm sure he was.
Yes. I'm surprised he didn't
Great.
hire me as some sort of advisor.
I mean, we couldn't afford to lose you, Marsh.
Oh, that's true.
Anyway, so we've got that figured out. So where are Hector and Fritz?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a bad thing.
Well, I don't smell fire.
That's slightly less bad, but still ominous.
It's probably fine. We can just do a quick spin around all the drinking spots. We'll probably find Hector passed out under a table and then Fritz lighting their tail on fire.
Let's go try Caddy Booze. That's probably where you'd go first.
Don't you want to take care of your wolf friend first?
Well, yes. But also, we really should find them. But also, I don't want to get arrested either, so we should probably clear that up first.
Right.
Okay.
It's what innocent people do, is they say, oh, there's been a misunderstanding.
Naturally.
All right.
Naturally.
So, back to office number 7B or whatever.
So you head back there, you wait in a line, and it takes a long time. Yes. And then the person goes, next.
Hello again.
Oh, hi. Did you need some help filling out the forms?
No, my
they're
scribe
already done.
took care of that very, very well. But we have some information to share about not an actual crime, but a suspected crime. Like something that's thought of as a crime, but turns out it isn't because of the information that we have that shows that it wasn't a crime, but a mistake, a confusion.
Oh, a confusion. Hold on. Let me get the form for this.
All right.
There's some rummaging. It goes on for a while.
Yes.
This is an unusual form as compared to all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, what's the issue here? I might need to call in somebody else, but I should take down the requisite information first.
Right. So, as a member of the Woodland Historical Preservation Society, I ventured down to the jail to interview some of the prisoners there in order to get, a non-judgmental other side of the story for our historical works. And I came across one of the prisoners who happens to be a friend of mine, and I realized that there was a misunderstanding because I accidentally might have given her something that might have been classified, but we didn't know that it was.
Underlining some words. Checking some boxes.
So, you may have heard about the fantastic wedding that we put on. I mean, it was 95% fantastic. The last part was maybe not the best.
Yes.
It's a tragedy that it went apart.
Yes. Well, there was a huge explosion. And unfortunately, V and myself, who were, essential to the planning, were very publicly seen to have been drugged by the miscreants who were responsible for Proxima's abduction, which we're going to go and solve, by the way. And it turns out that our friend V, in her adult state, saw a scrap of paper on the ground and recognized a wonderful design and just picked it up out of curiosity and then handed it to her blacksmith friend later. Neither of them being apparently, according to what her friend has discovered in conversation with her jailers, apparently the design was special or something. We're not really sure. But apparently the reason she was arrested was because she had possession of information she shouldn't, but that information was literally laying on the ground after an explosion. So no one's really at fault, except for the horrible miscreants who were responsible for the bombing of the barn wedding thing.
Yes, of course.
And their ringleader
right.
is the one I shot in the back and killed. So everything's fine.
Yes. Both of you can roll trick and NPC. This will just count for I think, probably 2 days worth of paperwork and running around and explaining the story to different people at different levels.
Yes, I am going to spend another exhaustion to get a 12 plus.
All right.
Okay, that's much better. That will be. I rolled double ones, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna not do that. That's a 12.
All right, perfect. So it does take several days for this whole process to happen. You do tell the story to at least 20 different moles in various levels, to the point that it becomes perfected art, I'm sure, from Marsha's side of things. But in the of course, this whole time, Hector and Fritz you haven't seen them at all, because you don't have to, there's waiting, and you've gone around and checked a few places. Haven't seen them. But whatever. It's probably fine. So after a couple days, it does end with Flannery out of jail, an apology, and like a stern, next time you see something that's like this, don't do that, I guess.
You should write that down and post it on your fancy boards and things, because not everyone knows. Who knows what could be strewn around? People could look at it and go, oh, that's pretty, and take it, and they've committed a crime and haven't known it.
You're right. We should have a notice saying that all of our documentation should not be otherwise distributed outside of GUD official distribution channels.
Yes, and that any suspected GUD official paperwork should be not looked at, but should be turned into the nearest local office. Actually, V, you're so smart. Why don't you write up that law for them?
I mean, I can if they want me to.
You should.
I'd be happy to co-sign on the bill.
Yes.
I will be a sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. A sponsor of this rule that makes sense. Flannery is very appreciative, but is like, I should probably get back to the shop. I think Dan's probably been worried. I'm behind on orders and things.
We probably
did you
sent
get
a
the
note
order
to
that I
Dan.
finished? Yeah, you probably had talked to him at some point.
Yeah, let him know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yes, I did pick up the order. It looks fantastic. Thank you so much. You're wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah, no worries. It's just a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was all cleared up. I felt like if I was there for just a few more days, I probably would have confessed to the crime, even though I didn't do anything, and they would have hauled me away somewhere.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
It would have been terrible, but
Thank
thankfully you
goodness.
were here.
We made it in time.
Yeah. You can tell me, I don't know, more about what you do, I guess.
Yeah,
At some point.
Or,
Yeah.
sometimes when you're in difficult situations and, it seems like the world is all topsy-turvy and you don't know which way is up, you imagine things and you get them stuck in your head and you think they actually happened and you think you have information, but you don't really. You just dreamed it all. And now that you're back into the real world and everything's fine, you can just completely forget anything that you think you heard or know so that you can live your normal, lovely life again.
Trick an NPC.
I don't know if it's a trick. I think it's
I feel like
a
that
not so subtle
that
cookie
was
message.
vaguely threatening.
It wasn't threatening. It was good advice.
It could be a persuade. That is fair.
Yeah, I think I'm more subtly trying to persuade her because I know how V is. I was like, she probably told her some stuff. So I don't think I have. No, I just have a charm of 3. That was gonna be a 12.
Just.
And then big wink.
Oh.
Let me put it this way.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
remember
get it.
3 things from the past 2 months for a reason.
Just be really tragic if something like this happened again, and then I got shipped off, and we couldn't see each other or write to each other anymore.
True, it would.
It would be sad.
She read your letter
I was just about to send
incessantly,
you-
like it was.
You read my letter?
Oh my! Did she? It's amazing. It still exists.
Marsh,
She's
it is nothing
rubbing it and
in
smelling it and reading it over and over and clutching it to her bosom or whatever otters have.
It's just very well written. Don't listen to him. He's crazy.
You thought it was well written?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
talked about it incessantly.
I was writing you another letter, but I didn't get a chance to send it.
Oh, well, I mean, we could just
I could,
talk, over
we
dinner.
could just talk over here. They go talk over there, Marsh.
Wave at passersby. Oh, it's wonderful to see you as well. Oh no, I'm not performing tonight. No, I'm here on official state business.
While we're Hector and Fritz, you were probably rolling into town around this time because it's been a few days. How are you transporting your explosive barrels?
We're rolling them
Okay.
Just
And
2
then we're going to
booms
stack
off in
them
the
up
distance.
and go to Cali Boots.
There is inspection at the gates for incoming merchandise, goods, etc. So you're going to have to think of an excuse of why you're bringing in a lot of explosives, or just don't go through patrolled areas. What's your play?
Fritz is probably just gonna sneak in.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're thinking of going up over the walls.
Yes.
All right, so we roll the barrels up to the walls, away from the gates where the guards can't see, and then I'm going to fly to the top, and Fritz will try handing up the barrels to me as I'm on top of the walls.
All right. I feel like there's some number of roguish feats involved with this.
Yeah, all of them.
So you can do sneak, sleight of hand, acrobatics, I think are the ones that would apply in here if you got them.
I have sneak and acrobatics.
Yeah, I think you can go with sneak. How's Hector doing?
I can go with sneak as well.
All right. So go ahead and give me your sneak rolls.
11.
Cool.
9.
All right. On the 9, you either mark exhaustion or risk one of the risks happening. Which in this case is breaking something, or drawing unwanted attention, or plunging into danger.
I feel that although those are all very appropriate risks, I will take the exhaustion.
Yeah, representing you almost dropping one of them, they'll be like, whoop, got it. Gotta stop that. All right, so you get the barrels into the town proper and just kind of like put them somewhere and head to Caddy Boo's. Jonas is there.
And
To be honest,
V and I are
V and March.
there with her girlfriend, whose name I still haven't learned after days.
Flan.
I head in the door. I see Marsh. I see V and Flan. I look away from V and Flan and back to Marsh.
Immediately dead eyes on Hector. So where have you been?
Did you fall in a hole?
Well, they're not smoldering, so at least there's that.
Yes, that's true.
Apple picking.
Oh,
The whole
right.
translation.
Apple picking?
Yeah.
Where are the apples?
Gave them to the local farmer's market.
Well, that was nice.
Is there even a farmer's market?
Yeah. Just around the corner, down the street, around another corner, around another corner, around another corner, down the street, and then to your left.
Well, how do you think
That doesn't
farmers
even
make?
make any sense, Fritz.
Well, how do you think farmers make their money if they don't have a market?
Isn't it like late at night?
I don't know.
Ish.
It's like the evening.
Yeah. They usually do that in the mornings.
Yeah, it's for tomorrow's farmer's market. They asked us to help out.
Excellent. Well, while you two were picking apples, we were righting injustices, freeing the innocent from a life of servitude and torture and imprisonment and stuff, reuniting lovebirds. You met Puddin', right?
Her name is Flan.
Well, same thing.
You could call me Puddin' V.
Yeah, so like I said, this is Puddin'. And you met V, of course you have. And what else has happened? Oh, I also ran into our dear old friend, Commander Warham, and we are going to go and rescue Proxima from the clutches of the Arid Dynasty. And also make poor Nellie happy again because her dear loved one, wife, is gone. And we aren't going to get our eyes packed out. And we also have to recruit a bunch of unpaid interns for the Historical Society who are also going to unknowingly assist us, i.e. be cannon fodder, when we go and rescue Proxima. So simple. I mean, not as simple as apple picking, but, you know, not bad for a few days'
Speaking
work.
of cannon fodder that's going downriver. Jonas, have you met Marsh and V before?
Of course we have.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Didn't see y'all there. How's it going?
Good.
What are you doing with Jonas?
Oh, we were just catching up, you know?
Me squinting, having worked with the conspiracy, knowing that there's something else going on here.
Well, of course, if you'd like to figure somebody out, I think there's a move for that.
Yeah, I think I would like to do that.
He'll probably go on and say, "Oh, Hector has mentioned your little ferry boat leaving town. Maybe the next day or so. Thought I'd hop along on your little historical society adventure. Is that what it is?"
I got an 11.
Yes, you can hold 3.
Yeah, is your character telling the truth?
I mean, he is probably omitting some things, so
Yeah, that's
yeah, you gotta
slightly
get that
more
vibe.
than question. How do I get your character to tell me about what you're doing?
I think you'd have to have a private conversation.
Alley of Secrets.
Yeah, in one of the alleys.
Yeah, Alex.
We don't have alcoves here. We have alleys.
Yeah.
So you could do that, and I think you're under the impression that he knows that you all hang out together. So he probably kind of assumed that Hector and Fritz had already mentioned all this plan to you guys at some point, but so I don't think it'd be too hard in the appropriate setting.
Okay. And what is your character really feeling? Because I'm just so in tune with emotions right now.
Feeling pretty good. I'm sure at some point it sees Hector and Fritz back in town, feels pretty good that their plan is going to go off. So, a generally good mood for him. Extra chipper.
Cool. Lan, I will be right back. Me and Jonas are good friends. I just need to go talk with them for a minute.
They're going to go say things that everyone knows in the Alley of Secrets, and then we're going to have another visit to the Alley of Secrets where Via's going to tell us what we already know, probably. That's what we usually do.
I thought it was just an alleyway.
Well, it's an Alley
Why
of
is it an
Secrets
alley
if
of
you go there to tell all your secrets.
I don't think everyone tells secrets in alleyways, right?
Well, we do.
Don't you just use them to shortcut across town?
I don't know. Where's Bruce? I miss Bruce.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, he's this wonderful bat man that we met. He was helping with my
A
singing.
Batman.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so weird. It might be that he was the very one that kidnapped Proxima and dropped him off with the Eries and now doesn't live here anymore. Who knows?
It's fine. He's got a flurry of Robins to work with now. So.
Hashtag, that's a conspiracy theory. No one believes that.
Hold on, writing down Robin to work with Bruce. Hold on.
It makes sense. He went to the Erie Dynasty, found some orphan bird. Now it's a sidekick.
Yeah,
Hey,
as one does. Oh yeah, Jonas is like, "What's up?" He says.
Jonas outside. But I
Yeah.
just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. What's going on?
Oh, didn't Hector and Fritz tell you?
Right, I forget you don't travel with them all the time. No, they did not. They've just been missing
right.
for a couple of days.
Oh no, it's fine. I've worked it out with them. They're helping me out with a little bit of a plan. And as part of that, I'll be on your little historical expedition. Simple as that.
What exactly is the plan?
Well, you know the tunnel that the GUD built here in town?
Yeah.
We're hoping to make it an X tunnel.
Oh God. Did they... How are you planning to make it not a tunnel anymore?
Well, Fritz has assured me that the quality of product they have brought will be sure that there's not a tunnel anymore.
So they weren't picking apples.
Why would they be picking apples? Isn't that, those aren't really in season right now.
Yeah.
Not around here, at least.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's not the worst, and I guess it does help us get people onto the boat, but we're gonna need some more people to go with us on our Historical Preservation Society mission.
Yeah, there's about 4 of us or so. 4 or 5.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Jonas.
No problem. Just let me know when the boat's leaving. We'll be ready.
Naturally.
The door to
Go
the
back
alley.
inside, and
Well,
I'm just gonna flick Fritz on the ear.
well, more like the door to the alley opens up and Marsh is just standing right there. My turn.
Okay, have fun.
No, with you.
Oh. Fritz and Hector went and got explosives, and now they're gonna blow up the tunnel.
Shh. Alley. Closed door. Okay, now what?
Fritz and Hector went and got explosives, and they're gonna blow up the tunnel.
Oh. Well, they'll fail horribly. Without our help. They haven't even planned, I'm sure.
I mean, I think the plan is just to put the explosives in the tunnel and be on the ferry riding away when it blows up.
Oh, so this is a Jonas thing.
Yeah.
And Jonas is going to be on the ferry. Jonas is going to be in the ferry.
One of our interns.
Yes, which means that we can officially hire Jonas as an unpaid intern. And that will give him a reason to be out of town. We just need more. Because we have to have them, they have to pay their way, and we have to, because ultimately, remember, the plan is to save Rodia's job. All the blowing up tunnels and rescuing princesses and stuff is just in aid of making sure that Rodia doesn't get in trouble with her boss. So she can then marry to Hector.
We have to salvage Hector's failing relationship.
Yes. We do it all for love, don't we, V?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Okay. But yeah, that's the gist of
All right,
what's
well,
happening.
we just need their paperwork, and we'll need them to sign some very detailed contracts, of course.
Oh, don't worry, I'm on that.
Yes, and they're going to have to pay. Not us, Rodia. And we should probably let Rodia know, too.
We can let Hector do that.
Oh, do we think we should trust Hector to tell her anything with any particular detail? I'm worried he might put it in a not so favorable light.
Then why don't you tell her, Marsh? You're the best at waxing poetry.
I mean, you don't have to say it, but it's nice that you do. All right, I'll go play matchmaker, if I must.
You have fun with that.
Will you
I
try
find
to prevent
yield
Hector
spray bottle.
Hector and Fritz from running off again?
Yeah. Yield spray bottle, spritz on Fritz.
Good.
It's more funny, you get back inside, they're already gone.
Oh my god. Where'd they go?
Nobody knows. But no, actually, what's everyone's plans right now? Sorry.
I'm going to go let Rodia know so she doesn't leave in a huff or something. And to reassure her that her status with her employer is soon to be beyond compare.
I naturally have to take a romantic moonlit walk to take Flan back home. Obviously.
Is there a fireplace?
Yes.
I douse the fire to spite Fritz. Because I'm mad that you lied to me about the apples.
The proprietor is just like, hey, what? We're using that fire. It's ambiance. What the heck?
Oh, sorry, I tripped.
You tripped. You tripped
Yep.
directly into smothering out the fire.
Yep.
Trick an NPC.
I tripped onto a bucket, and then I tripped into a well, and then the bucket got full. Then I tripped into the fire. It's easy.
It's simple. If you just say I tripped the whole way.
Yeah.
I got a 9.
I mean, it doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't particularly matter, other than the fact that they don't believe you.
And Fritz
The critical
said,
opportunity is that you don't get kicked out.
There you go.
I mean, you're leaving anyway, but you know. Sorry, Fritz, what was that?
Can Fritz sit in the no longer lit fireplace?
In?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now the proprietors are like, "What are you? I was gonna light the fire again. Why are you? Why? Why?
I am the fire.
No, you're a cat."
I look at the proprietor, who is bullying poor Fritz, who is soaking wet and sitting in ashes. What are you doing? Leave Fritz alone. Let Fritz recover.
From what?
Disappointment?
Disappointment.
The fire went out. I don't know if you noticed this.
I did. And that's why I was trying to light the fire again. Your friend could be not disappointed if they would leave the fire, and then I could start the fire again.
Look, just lay the fire around Fritz. You know, just surround her with them with logs, and light it up. I'm sure Fritz will be fine.
No, that's not how that works. It would definitely light them on fire.
I'll move.
There you go. Just sit. You can sit right here. Now I can light the fire again. See? Look. We got fresh wood on there. It's great. It's nice and cozy. You can dry off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good job. You solved my fire puzzle. Hector, what are you doing? Just chilling here?
I was thinking of scouting out the hole. Obviously, there's a tent over the top of it, but I wanted to do a discreet pass by and see how many guards there are, that sort of thing.
Okay. You have some information from Jonas on generally when the guards change and stuff like that. Do you plan on slipping into the tent or just looking around the outside?
Just around the outside.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can roll for that situation thing. Which one's that?
Read a tense situation.
Read a tense situation.
Ten.
10. All right, you can ask 3.
Who or what is most vulnerable to us, the group collectively?
Let's see. I think that while the tent, it's sort of in the like center of Market Square, it's a little off center. It has the whole tunnel situation, and you think that the material probably isn't as strong as they would have liked on the tent itself. And there's a few, at least to the guards around it, there are a few blind spots, especially when they're changing out from guards or bringing in a shipment or something like that, where there is areas that are probably easily cut or easily slipped past.
Who or what is my biggest threat?
There are many guards standing around the tent, so that's one of the biggest. But probably the biggest one is, let's see. Yes, you know him, you love him. It's Sir Isington the 14th. For some reason, he is here, probably on hire or something from the GUD, and he is almost omnipresent from the time that you spend looking around at their operations of the tent, keeping an eye out for details. He still looks minorly injured from the rather climactic battle you all had, but he is running a tight ship, so to speak, even though he's not on the ship right now.
And finally, who is in control here? I should imagine that a hired mercenary probably has reports to somebody.
Yes. Yes, you see him report, in fact, at one point to Commander Warham, who is probably the one in charge of the operations here in Rooston itself and is checking in from time to time. You probably just caught the one time that you stopped by. Maybe he stops by a couple times a day.
Okay, doke. I'm going to go back to Cat Daddy's, Caddy Boo's even, where Fritz is still covered in ash and paint and looking a bit damp. And Marsh and V have yet to return, so I'm going to order a stout.
Good plan. All right, Marsh.
Yes.
You're going to go talk to Rudia.
Knock, knock, knock. I assume she's on the boat.
Yes, she is. And she says, "Go away."
Oh, Rhodia.
Oh, it's you.
Yes.
She opens the door. Says, "What is it?"
Well, Hector has been working tirelessly to ensure that that little misunderstanding with your employer is smoothed over entirely. So, here very shortly, we are going to secure you a number of paying customers who are also our unpaid interns for the Historical Society. So we're going to bring on a number of paying customers that you can show your boss that you are keeping your word by taking passengers wherever we want to go. And they're paying for the pleasure.
Well, that does track with everything else that's going on. But should it... Listen, it could also just be easier to run the regular route and just not worry about everything else that goes on when you guys go to different places.
Oh, but where's the fun in that? Also,
I don't know.
Also, there's Hector to consider.
Yeah.
I've seen the way you look at him. That that mixture of disdain and vague amusement and it's love. I can tell.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's love?
Look, I am a partner in the Woodlands' premier wedding planning establishment. I know these things.
Hashtag doubt. Go ahead and persuade an NPC.
What is my...
I think your charm's +3.
+3. So 10.
All right. Radia is all like, all right, I appreciate what you're doing with the getting people to get on the ship, and I can certainly take paying customers. That will help a lot of things. Probably don't need much of your help with relationship advice, though. No offense.
No, that's fine. You're well on your way. You do you.
Okay. Well, when should I be expecting these paying customers?
Quite soon, I think. They're very anxious to finish their job here and move on to something else.
So like tonight or
I don't
tomorrow?
think tonight. I think tomorrow, the next day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I said, well, there should
Let
be,
them know.
I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 5 of them. And plus us,
Cool.
of course.
Yeah, it's going to be a little crowded, but I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yes, it will. So I just wanted you to know that Hector has been working very hard to make sure that you aren't in any way inconvenienced.
Right. And that's why he's here to tell me himself.
Well, I think he thought it would be better coming from someone else. And actually, I think that he's too humble. He probably would have come and not taken credit the way that he should. You know how Hector is.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
All right. So, I think we should move on with the exciting action because you all have places to be. So let's see. The next day or whenever we're setting up the explosives, who's doing that, and when and how, and then we can set up some roles.
Jonas and his crew. This is all on them. And if they get caught or blowed up,
That's fair.
What Marsh said.
yeah. Because the deal was, now that I know the deal, look, the deal was we get the supplies, which we did, so they can do their stuff. And so we're the supplier and the getaway car. We don't have to be the people.
The middle bit.
The whatever the part in the middle is.
The part that does things. Do any of you want to help in the middle part? No.
Oh, come on, V. I know how you love getting your hands dirty.
Fritz does not
I'm
want
good.
to help at this point because they do not have their danger mask.
Sir Icington the 14th can make us.
Well, all the more reason to go, not go over there, unless we want to finish what we started. Take out the penguin. If only,
I think our
if only
glorious
Bruce.
final battle will happen another time.
Well, and honestly, if we're going to take on the penguin, we need to make sure that Bruce, our friend, the Batman, is there to help us.
Yeah.
All right, so you all are waiting at the docks for Jonas and his crew. When Flanera comes up, she has a large backpack, and walks up to you and says, "Okay, I've decided to take a little bit of a vacation, and I heard that you were on a historical expedition." So I just thought, like, I could come along for a little bit of the history, you know, just a little bit of a getaway after all of that over the last couple days, if that's okay?
I would love to get away with you. I mean, yeah, you can come with us.
Perfect. How much was the fare fee? It was like one value. All right, here you go. And Rudia's like, sweet money. And then shortly thereafter, Jonas and a small other group of about 4 NPCs who will not be named unless someone redeems NPC me, show up in a little bit more of a hurry, you know, just throwing their coin at Rudia and being like, all right, let's go learn some history or something.
Or make it.
All right. And then, the boat's going, they're looking anxiously at the horizon, and then there is indeed an earth-shattering kaboom and a large pile of dust and many guards running around, and definitely a few buildings that are a little wonky now. Just a few wonky buildings, but that's fine. This is probably part of the plan.
Oh no, I wonder what could have
wasn't
happened.
me.
I know. I'm so glad that we left in time. We wouldn't want to be caught in that.
Yeah, gosh, what a crazy thing that happened.
I noticed when I was at Office 7 Substation B that it seemed like some of the bureaucratic practices of the GUD are falling into disrepair. They were very lax about making copies at every stage of passing a note around. I'm wondering if things aren't getting a little bit sloppy. This is the second place that we've seen the infrastructure of a GUD settlement collapse.
Convenient that we were there both times.
Well, we were lucky enough to be able to help at the last place, but this time we're too bad we're already on our way. We have history calls. Someone should report them for poor civic planning. But then we have to report them to them. I wonder if there's a form for that.
Did we arrive at a place that was already kind of in ruin, and then we helped to rebuild it?
Yes.
Yeah. So technically, they can't say we're the cause of.
Oh, why would they? Why would we? We were nowhere near whatever just happened. It was probably just a tunnel collapse. Anyway.
Very violent tunnel collapse.
Probably. Hopefully the shop's okay, says Flan.
I'm sure it's fine. It was far away from the tunnel, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. And you all set sail to Flathome.
Yes. Where we're also beloved. To return a hammer.
Yes.
And talk to a very old eagle. And see if we can't get any
Hector,
intel.
here's that hammer.
Don't give it to him.
No.
Actually, I'll hold on to this.
Pat's hammer, and it's going back to Pat. Just so we're clear.
Yes.
And what Pat chooses to do with it after we give it back to him is between you and Pat. Because he's very gullible. But anyway.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll continue this little adventure in Flathome next time. So I'm Misha, or Misha_lesson here on Twitch, or at Mishaweha on Tumblr. And I think we are doing the next part of this on Sunday. So in the evening, our time. So yeah. I think that's it for me. Tough.
Hi, I'm 98 Tough Love. Tough for Torfleton, some of the right nickname. I have been playing V. Are we doing drives? Yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah, we should do all of those.
Yeah. Pretty sure I got clean paws.
Yeah. We admitted to a crime to the authorities to exonerate one of our co-conspirators and got away with it, and blew up another town with no evidence. So I think it's clean paws all around.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, as long as I'm looking at faction standings. So if you would like to add one for the Corvid conspiracy for everybody, and let's see. I feel like somebody. What else did we do?
We met with Commander Warham and agreed to help Proxima.
Yes. I don't know if there'll be a rep for that yet.
Okay.
But I think Via Marsh can add one rep for the GUD just because you did a lot of interacting with the jail thing and clearing up a misconception.
Yes. It is incredibly satisfying to, in some way, participate in blowing up their tunnel and also gain reputation with them.
Yes. Something clean paws. Cool. Yeah, this all seems good. All right, continue on with your drives that you were doing.
I think that was the only one that I got because my other one is the advance when you encounter a new wonder or ruin in the forest, which we didn't do. So, but yeah, B has very clean paws naturally. Go Fritz.
Hi, I'm Fritz, or Fritzful __ Fritzato on Fritstagram, Fritz, and Fruitu. I've been playing myself, which is Fritz, in this game. Not been wearing my danger mask, so it's easy, and I gained that one and not had to figure out what half of one of a box is. So that's cool. That's very cool. Would bringing in the explosives into the city and helping to blow up the tunnel, count as crime?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Fritz advances or succeeded in the drive of crime, but not thrills, because they're just a little innocent little kitty with tiger stripes, and nothing ever bad. Got licked by a moose, it was all good. And then the person behind the Fritz is Sin, or sinful __ potato, who may stream on Monday on Twitch at some point in time. But before then, you can find Fritz again here on this channel Sunday evening at some point in time. And also, we have a Discord, which you can find in the chat that occasionally pops up if you want. It's really cool. Really cool people there. Hector.
I am Twi'lek, and I have been playing Hector. Unlike Fritz, Hector has not been covered in saliva, paint, water, ashes, or any of that stuff. But he did get to see Rhodia backlit by an explosion. In terms of my drives, I have completed both Ambition, which was to increase my reputation with a faction, and Greed, which was to secure a serious payday or treasure, because 2 barrels of explosives is a serious treasure. 0.
Oh, speaking of, you guys gotta take 2 depletion each for the explosives you gave to them. But you did go get the explosives, so it still counts for the drive.
You're muted, Michael.
Yeah. I mean, you took it and then you gave it up. That's fine. It's all good. I'm Zero, or Zero Daylight, or whatever, and I have been Marsh, who is obviously, the mastermind of all this, historical enterprise. And of course, may not remember, but definitely committed a few crimes with clean paws. So I will take that lovely advancement. And hopefully on our way from Flathome to, I don't know, wherever that other place is, we will discover some cool stuff out in the clearing. Maybe another ancient ruin where we can find cool stuff that our friends will then sneak off and steal without consulting us. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It won't come up later. So we'll be back here roughly 6 p.m. I think, Central Time on Sunday, or whenever we get our stuff together. Cool. So thank you everyone for playing, and thank you Misha for running, and thank you chat for being here. And we will say goodbye to our friends on YouTube and then come back and raid out. So goodbye to our friends on YouTube.